we look forward beyond the competition to, over the years, to be in touch with many of you, those of you who are participating here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I think that we are now going to move on to directly the announcement of prizes. So we're going to start with the announcement of the top teams in the English rounds. So that is the top memorials, the top oralists, yes. And with that, Professor Frans Viljoen will help us make those announcements. Professor?
Thank you, Eduardo. And perhaps just to add some suspense, let me just use this maybe as, you know, based at the Center for Human Rights, I'd just like to say a few words of the formal thank yous before we delve into that important part of the proceedings. I think this has been a year to remember for all of us. It is a year that I think also connecting virtually will always, I think, in everyone's memory involved in this moot court competition be associated with what happened in the last few weeks. We know that this was the first time that Nelson Mandela competition was presented virtually. We would see in the future if there would be elements of that could be repeated. People talk of the lessons learned from COVID, but the ideal is certainly to be back in Geneva in 2021 around the birthday of our beloved Madiba Nelson Mandela, around 18 July 2021. I think that what is new also in this year is that we have knockout rounds. We'll come to that soon, quarter-final rounds, and then semi-final rounds, and the final round itself. The thank yous, I think, must be placed on record to our donors. I mean, Veronica Gomez is here. I mean, to talk of the Global Campus as a donor is really a misnomer. The Global Campus is a supporter and a partner, but also assisting the competition with its material kind of needs. We also acknowledge the Swiss government that had been, and this year also plays an important part in the process. I want to thank the participating teams before we run off in excitement now, having been given the results. We just reiterate that we had 38 English language teams, 5 Spanish language teams, so that's 43. We started off by also inviting French language teams, but regrettably, there wasn't a sufficient number. So in an ideal world, we'll have 3 language rounds in the preliminary process, but we had these 2 rounds. I thank the teams, the members of the different teams that really have immersed themselves in this moot court competition and the preparation. I think you will perhaps never look at a fish again and not wonder if it's not perhaps a hawk. And I think in another sense, we also have to thank the faculty representatives, especially those who have been with us in the moot court competition for a number of years. You are the ones who create the continuity, the stability that is really important in building and institutionalizing this Nelson Mandela moot court competition. Thank you very much to all the faculty representatives who had been part of this process. To the judges, really, I mean, the moot court preliminary rounds took place over a short period of time, as you know. For some of the judges, it meant 4 rounds on one particular day. So that is quite a number of hours. We appreciate your dedication, your preparation for this process. We wish we could virtually award you the robe of the Galapagos, or perhaps send you each a book of penguin, but perhaps we'll meet in person and then we will be able to give our sincere appreciation to you all. At the center, I think you see Eduardo here. Everyone knows Eduardo really is the person who holds this moot court competition together. Like, the competition obviously depends on his energy and his abilities, not only during the preliminary rounds, but over a long period of time. Eduardo, we really honor you. We congratulate you, and we also thank you so much for your deep involvement, your dedication. I think I want to use 2 words to describe your role, and those are indefatigable and unflappable. And I think those are both qualities that are important for anyone who organizes a moot court competition. You've been assisted ably by Anna, and perhaps often behind the scenes, Anna Kartunian, who has been in Geneva. Actually, she's been helping with the social media in particular, with making us shine as a moot court competition, as people involved. Thank you for your hard work complementing Eduardo's work. Behind the scenes, often also Carol Viljoen, Emily Loubser at the center, in terms of the computation of marks, dedication, and your tireless efforts have really helped us so much and ensure the integrity of the competition. Our independent auditor, Jaco Gillemord, who had assisted us in the process as well. The partners, obviously, this is done in partnership. We thank the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in the absence, the American University, Washington College of Law, Claudia Martin and others, and then obviously, everyone else who made this possible. We also thank our colleagues here at the university. We thank everyone involved in this event. Christoph, who is really there, has been there, an inspirational force behind the Moot. Thank you for being here, Claudia Martin and Veronica, on behalf of the Global Campus. Thank you so much. So let me just also, before we get distracted, say that the next steps now would be that we look at announcing those teams that did best in the preliminary rounds. And thereafter, we will have 8 teams that will proceed to the quarterfinal. Now, there has been speculation over time whether we will do the rounds in person. We were, against all odds, optimistically persisting that there's a possibility that we'll do it in Geneva. But we have now reconciled ourselves with the state of the world. And we want to also now put it on record that the rest of the rounds, the rest of the quarterfinal finalist rounds will take place virtually. So the rounds will take place virtually. In the first week of November, we will have the quarterfinal rounds. And that is for the 8 teams that have now proceeded through. And in the third week of November, we will have the semi-final rounds, and we will have the final round on the 10th of December, International Human Rights Day, and that will be 11 o'clock Central European time. So you can mark that off on your calendar if also you want to be there and reserve yourself for that finalist round. Having said all that, I think I will now proceed, as Eduardo indicated, to just for the English rounds, the English language rounds, announce a number of lists of those who did best. The first is the list of those who did best with the memorials. We realized that the memorials is really like a threshold to compete in the competition. But we know also at the same time that much hard work has gone into the preparation of these memorials, and we want to acknowledge that. We also thought that perhaps we could ask the teams that presented the best memorials if we could make theirs available so that others could see, how really good memorials look. In the 10th place for the English language memorials, we have the RML, National Law University, Lucknow, India. Number 9, Brak University, Bangladesh. Number 8, University College Roosevelt in the Netherlands. Number 7, the Geneva Academy of International Humanitarian Law in Switzerland. Number 6, Belarusian State University, Belarus. Number 5, and that's still for the memorials, is the Gujarat National Law University in India. Number 4, as far as the memorials go, is the Ruhr University, Bochum in Germany. Number 3, as far as the memorials go, we have the Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai in India. And number 2, the second best memorials in English, has come from the University of Buenos Aires. And the best memorials, the prize for the best memorials then will be sent to Army Institute of Law in India. The Army Institute of Law in India, the winners of the best memorial prize. Congratulations. We know that these do not count specifically in the rounds that you've now participated in, but those are certainly signs of your dedication, hard work, and talents. Let me then, Eduardo, proceed to the top 10 oralists. So teams participated twice, once as applicant, once as respondent in these rounds. And we have obviously the whole list. We will send the full list of the results as ranked. We will send these to all the teams, and we will post the top oralists on our website. Number 10, as far as the individual oralist performance has gone, we have in the 10th position Ariel Tan from the National University of Singapore. In the 9th position, we have Vanash Vidyan from RML National Law University, Lucknow, India. Congratulations. In number 8, we have João Gabriel Achegas, Pontifical Catholic University of Paraná. Congratulations. Number 7 is Livia Fetosha Dantas, also from the Pontifical Catholic University of Paraná, that is in Brazil. At number 6, we have Sarada Lakshmi Hariharan from the University of Malaya. In the 5th position, we have Eugene Kanyugo from Strathmore University in Kenya. In 4th position, we have Shushrut Koyuru from the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. In the 3rd position, we have Omvir Singh from the Army Institute of Law in India. The second best oralist during the preliminary rounds is Tian M. Chu from the University of Malaya, the University of Malaya. And then the best oralist in the preliminary rounds is Gerald Tan from the National University of Singapore. So congratulations to these top 10 oralists. As I say, your names will be posted, and we will make a plan to send something in due course to as a tangible acknowledgement of your great performance. I now proceed to announce the top 10 universities, the top 10 universities, regrettably, include the top 7 in the English-speaking rounds that will go through the quarterfinals, but we will announce the top 10 universities. So at number 10 is the Liberty University, based in the United States of America. At number 9 is the Gujarat National Law University in India. And at number 8 is the Centro Universitario de Curitiba, which is based in Brazil. So congratulations to you. You regrettably have reached the top 10, but you will not unfortunately progress to the quarterfinal rounds. So now, in terms of the quarterfinalists, we have in the order that they appear here, Kenyatta University School of Law, Kenya, is our first quarterfinalist. They were in position 7. The Army Institute of Law, India, is the next quarterfinalist, and they come in position 6. Position 5 in the preliminary rounds, we had Strathmore University in Kenya going through to the quarterfinals. Next position is held by the University of Oxford, and also going through to the quarterfinals. In the 3rd position during the preliminary rounds was the Pontifical Catholic University of Paraná, which is in Brazil, as we said before. Congratulations, going through to the quarterfinals. Then we have the National University of Singapore and the University of Malaya, which essentially are in joint first position during the preliminary rounds, going through to the final, which is then the quarterfinal to start with. We note here that the marks differences are very slender. There was great competition. There was a wonderful spirit and great quality in the proceedings. We congratulate all the teams. That is sincerely so. The judges, I think, have observed this almost uniformly after the rounds that I listened to. We really commend the teams for their very thorough preparation, their keen analysis of the issues, demonstrating their awareness and understanding of international law and the ability to apply them. So we have our 7 quarterfinalist teams then from the English-speaking rounds. Let me, before I hand over to Eduardo to announce or do the Spanish language rounds, just note in the sake of transparency, as you know, and the competitors would know, but everyone on the call would know that once we have calculated our marks from the preliminary rounds, we send this out to the teams to have a 12 hours or so opportunity to scan through everything and to note if there's any issue, any maybe small calculation error, any duplication or omission, and especially because the competition takes place virtually this year, there was always a possibility that some judges' marks were not entered, or despite the best efforts that we have made. So I have to note that one of the teams noted an important calculation issue. We followed it up, we rectified it, and what I've announced this afternoon, this evening, for wherever you are, is certainly been checked and double-checked once again through our team and through the independent editor, auditor. So I want to just make that, we will also publish all these results publicly. We have given all the teams their score sheets so that you can verify, the calculations eventually. So with that, let me hand over to Eduardo to announce the Spanish language best orderlists, etc. And then we will come back to do the draw for the quarterfinals.
All right, so as we've seen, 7 teams from the English-speaking group will move on to the quarterfinal rounds. And so perhaps I will ask Anna just to come in and assist with the translation, just to make sure that everyone in the Spanish side captures the reality of everything. So first, I will be announcing the top 3 memorials in the Spanish rounds.
Bueno, entonces ahora vamos a hacer el anuncio de los equipos ganadores en español. Eduardo va a decirlos en inglés y yo los voy a traducir al portugués.
Thank you, Anna. So the top 3, so ideally there should be top 3 memorials in the Spanish rounds, as we had 5 teams participating in the Spanish rounds. However, we have on second place, which is tied, we have the Universidad Nacional del Mar del Plata and the Facultad de Derecho y Ciencias, with 87.5% on their memorials. So these universities are tied at second place as the top memorials.
Bueno, en general tenemos 3 universidades que van a 3 universidades con los mejores memoriales. Sin embargo,
okay, and in first place, the top memorial in the Spanish rounds with 91.5% of the 91.5% is the Universidad Católica Boliviana San Pablo in Bolivia.
en primer lugar, con 97% es la Universidad Nacional de San Pablo en Bolivia.
I will now move on to the top oralists in Spanish. Ana? I will now announce the... Okay, so in 5th place, so I will start from number 5 up until the top oralists. In 5th place, is Miss Lucia Serrano Rocabado from the Universidad Católica Boliviana de San Pablo. So that's in 5th place.
Bueno, en quinto lugar de mejor oradora tenemos a la señora Lucía Serrano Rocabado de la Universidad Católica Boliviana de San Pablo, Unidad Académica Regional de Cochabamba.
In 4th place, we have Mr. Ramiro Rodriguez from Universidad Nacional del Mar del Plata.
En cuarto lugar tenemos al señor Ramiro Rodríguez de la Universidad Nacional del Mar del Plata.
In 3rd place, we have Ellen René Larazo from the Universidad de Derecho y Ciencias, Universidad del Oeste.
Orioles prvo mesto English, Spanish посылать.
En segundo lugar tenemos a Alan René Domínguez Rosa.
Third place.
Third place.
Third place, yes.
Alan René Domínguez La Rosa de la Facultad de Derecho.
Okay. In second place, we have Miss Maria Laura Baya Penaloza from the Universidad Católica Boliviana de San Pablo, in second place. In first place, that's the top oralist in the Spanish rounds. We have Christopher Lara from the Universidad Central de Ecuador. So congratulations to the top oralists in the Spanish rounds. Okay, we are going to move on to the top teams. So we have top 3 teams in the Spanish rounds. And as you know, only one team will go on to the quarterfinal rounds. In third place, we have the Universidad Nacional del Mar del Plata with 80.5% of the mark. In second place, we have the Universidad Central del
Franz, what a cliffhanger. Franz, I think we have a cliffhanger because Eduardo has frozen in the announcement. Maybe you have the full list? Okay.
Anna, Eduardo, is it only him that is frozen? Eduardo's fallen off. That's very interesting.
Yes, I know.
Anna,
if you have a list, I think Anna is not online because there was no translation.
Okay, that's very funny because I don't have the Spanish university list with me. Carol, can you come in here and just give us the name of the top language university?
Okay, please forgive my pronunciation. Veronica, you can help me. But it's the team from Bolivia, Universidad Católica Boliviana San Pablo.
Okay, that's the number 1?
That's the top team in the Spanish rounds, yes.
Okay, entonces, me toca anunciar que la Universidad Católica Boliviana San Pablo tiene el primer lugar entre los equipos. Anteriormente se dieron los nombres de los top orals, de los participantes principales y también de los briefs, o sea, de las presentaciones escritas. Pero bueno, ese es el ganador.
Good. So now we have the 8 teams that will go to the semi-final rounds, and they will compete against one another in a knockout round. In other words, there will not be more than one opportunity. It will be an opportunity to compete against one another. Eduardo, we lost you there for a moment. We just announced the top team. Did you get to number 2?
I got to, so the top 3 teams in Spanish. In third position, can you hear me? In third position, it is the Universidad Nacional de Mar del Plata. In second position, the Universidad Central del Ecuador. And in first position, the team which has qualified for the quarter-final rounds in the Spanish language, the Universidad Boliviana de San Pablo in Bolivia. So congratulations.
Fantastic. So congratulations.
Can I make a summary? If I can make a summary of that so that we're all clear that it was understood. So en tercer lugar, la Universidad de Mar del Plata. En segundo lugar, la Universidad Central del Ecuador. Y en primer lugar, la Universidad Católica San Pablo de Bolivia.
Okay, maybe, and then you could also just reiterate the point that the 8 teams will now go through and they will do a knockout round. So the quarterfinals will have the four rounds of 2 teams each competing against each other. And then from each of those knockouts, there will be 4 teams going to the semi-final.
Too long, Franz. I think it's better in writing. That would be better.
Hello, Anna, are you there? I think the technology might be failing us.
Okay, so I think we will communicate this in any event. Well, what we do now is we'll cross over to Carol's house. She has all the numbers of the teams. The teams know their numbers, and we will still maintain the confidentiality of, that's why we also don't show the teams' faces, because you know the teams will still retain the confidentiality. Carol, in an intergenerational moment, will have us see the draw take place, and we will draw the applicants and the respondents as they will appear against one another. So over to you, Carol, where we will draw first the applicant, the respondent for the first round, and so on for the 4 rounds that follow.
Hi, everybody from my home in Pretoria. Together with my family, we're going to do, like Franz said, an intergenerational draw. So you might hear some background noise, but we're trying to make it a little bit fun. I've got an empty bowl here, nothing in it. And we're going to now put in the names of the top Spanish team and the top 7 English teams into this bowl. And then my grandchildren will draw them out of here for you. So for the first draw, let's get Gabriel. Come, Gabriel. Come and draw a number. Take a number here. Take a number, Gabriel. You want that one? Okay. Thank you, Gabriel. Hold here, Cindy. Okay, everybody. So the first team in the final round appearing for the applicant is English team number 5. Okay, English team number 5 for the applicant. Luke, would you come and draw the next one for us, please? Thank you, Luke. Appearing for the respondent in the first set of quarterfinals. English team number 15. Okay, Gabriel, let's draw another one. There we go. Thank you, Gabriel. So for the second set of quarterfinals, appearing for the applicant, English team number 38. Okay. Luke, another one. Thank you, Luke. So this is the team for the respondent in the second set of quarterfinals. English team number 11. Okay, Gabriel, one more. Thank you, Gabriel. So in the third set of quarterfinals, appearing for the applicant, Spanish team number 2. Team number 2 from the Spanish rounds, appearing as the applicant. And then the last team, appearing for the respondent, will be English team number 20. The last set of quarterfinals, appearing for the applicant, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. English team number 1. And the very final respondent, Luke will draw for us. Thank you, boys. So appearing for the respondent, English team number 23. We will also obviously put this up on all of our social media, as well as send it out to all of the teams to just confirm everything again.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you to all the family involved. That is wonderful. We hope that some of those young people will still be one day appearing on the other side of this, this competition profile. So thank you, Carol.
The 40th World Moot, they'll appear.
Yes. So we have to confirm, everyone, we have, as I said, the first week of November, we will communicate with you. We will have around 5 against 15 in the first quarterfinals. We'll have 38 against 11 in the second quarterfinals. We'll have the Spanish team number 2 against 20 in the third, and we'll have 1 against 23 in the last. So we will communicate the details. Certainly everyone who had been in the preliminary rounds, we would wish for you to participate. There's no reason, I think, to do this. We will communicate with you all the information. We would like to see you involved. We will also communicate once there is further progress towards the semi-final, and we will then also communicate that to you. I see there's some query in the chat box. Just to reiterate, we are now, very soon after this event, we are going to send to each team the full lists of memorials, the full list of oralists, and of best teams in the preliminary rounds, right, Eduardo? So that you as a team, you'll see, you know, how your team featured, so that you can have that information at your disposal. We will put on the website for public consumption what we have announced here today. We don't want to make the link between the team number and the team identity. Therefore, we're not going to call you to jump up and celebrate. So, you know, that we retain that confidentiality of which teams are associated with which individuals. We do know that the identity of the teams are in the public domain, but we still want you to retain your team number and to retain that confidentiality as we progress into the competition, so that you still retain that in place. From my side, just 2 small things. As I said, we will keep in communication with you. We invite you to also look at the social media. We are going to release, Eduardo, the recordings of the various rounds, so that you can also look back and you can have others look at you. And then, very importantly, please, 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 we ask you, we will send out an evaluation form. There are a few questions, but I'm sure you are now, you know, so immersed, you are partners in this, you are also invested in making this competition better for the future, we hope and we know. So we ask you very kindly, once the evaluation form comes your way, it's an easy form to fill in. Just do it quickly and send it back to us. We will certainly take heed of the comments and even any criticisms, constructive or otherwise, that you may have. We want to know what was good, what was difficult for you, and we want to build on that and improve the Nelson Mandela World Human Rights Moot Court competition. So from my side, once again, congratulations to all. I think, you know, it's a cliche to say everyone has been a winner, but, you know, I was in the different courtrooms and I saw the small differences between the scoring outcomes. So the quality was really, really very high. Congratulations to all of you. We trust that we will be in touch with you around the further events in this moot court and otherwise. We say thank you once again to Eduardo and the team. You know, in the center, it's always a team effort. There are many others in our communications team. There are others mentioned and names have been mentioned like Carol and Emily, but there are always many others who have in particular helped as judges, anchor judges, and in many other ways. But let me allow Eduardo to have the last word, and then we will conclude these proceedings. Thank you, Eduardo.
I am back. So thank you also very much for your participation in the preliminary rounds. We take due note that it was under very constrained at times circumstances, or even different circumstances as the world has moved on to a particular direction. But I think that your participation is a testament of the passion that you have, not only for your studies, but also for important issues that continue to play such a huge role as this pandemic continues. And so with that, thank you all for joining us this evening or this morning, this afternoon, and for joining us from wherever you are in the world. And congratulations to all participants, not just the teams that are proceeding to the quarterfinal rounds, but to all participants who we are sure put in such a huge effort to arriving at this stage. So thank you. Have a good evening, and we will be in touch virtually. All the best.